I don't know how Serena Williams did it. Jessica Pegula on why the new era of American tennis is different. Jessica Pegula is currently in Melbourne, preparing for the upcoming Australian Open, which commences on January 18th. She participated in the Brisbane International, where she lost to Marta Kostyuk in the semi-finals, and was also scheduled to play in the Adelaide International but withdrew to focus on the first Grand Slam of the year. The world number 6 raised some injury concerns in Brisbane when she was spotted training with a heavily taped left thigh. However, all the problems were put to bed when she managed to dispatch her opponents with relative ease before the semi-finals. Pegula recently appeared on the Changeover podcast, where she discussed various factors in tennis and how active players on tour cope with the challenges. Pegula expressed her feelings about the new era of American players in women's tennis, which she referred to as the post-Serena Williams era. I think there's just been so many of us. And I think after Serena and Venus is still playing, but Serena stopped. I think she carried that for so long that when the kind of wave of all of us came in, it was kind of oh, we can carry this all together. This is kind of stressful, said Pegula. I don't know how Serena ever did it, but that's why she's, the GOAT. But it's kind of easier when you can share that pressure a little bit. And I think we just all push each other really well. And we just knew that there was room for all of us, Pegula added. And it made it less pressure on ourselves when you know that there's someone else there. It's not like you're at the US Open, and you're the top American, you have to win the US Open. It's well, there's 10 of them, Pegula concluded. Jessica Pegula makes her feelings clear about the taxing tennis schedule. On the same episode, Pegula addressed the grueling tennis schedules leading up to Grand Slams. Citing the Australian swing, she weighed in on the mental and physical strain of competing in numerous events leading up to the Australian Open. There's definitely not a long enough off-season. I think the 2-week events have exacerbated it a little bit because, previously, slams used to be 2 weeks long, and that was a lot. A lot is going on. Mentally, it's really tough. Some people don't understand tennis. It's not that I love it and am thankful for it, but it doesn't exactly contribute to a healthy life, said Pegula. Pegula aims to make an impact at the Australian Open and challenge some of the favorites, hoping for a surprise. Also read, Ben Shelton's girlfriend Trinity Rodman has a message for him just ahead of ASB Classic. Patrick Mouratoglou uses Federer-Nadal Djokovic slam stat to dismiss criticism of Alcaraz and Sinner's top 10 rivals. Australian Open 2026, who are the women's singles seeds? Foot Coco Gauff, Amanda Anisimova, Aryna Sabalenka. College Sports Network has you covered with the latest news, analysis, insights, and trending stories in tennis, college football, men's college basketball, women's college basketball, and college baseball. I don't know how Serena Williams did it, a new era of American tennis, through Jessica Pegula's eyes. In the heart of Melbourne, as the dawn light cast its first gleam over the blue courts of the Australian Open warm-up, Jessica Pegula paused mid-stretch. Thousands of miles from home, on the brink of another Grand Slam, her thoughts drifted, not to her next opponent, not to strategy, not even to her own serve, but to the legacy of one woman. I don't know how Serena ever did it, she said on a recent podcast, reflecting on what it's like to be part of the modern wave of American women's tennis, a generation that, for the first time in years, stands not under the shadow of one towering figure, but together in a field of stars. In that simple statement lies a remarkable truth. American tennis is changing. The weight of one legend. For nearly 2 decades, Serena Williams was not just the best American tennis player, she was the face of the sport. Her reign was defined by power, precision, audacity, and grit. She dominated courts around the globe, racked up 23 Grand Slam titles, and became a cultural icon whose impact transcended tennis itself. The mere fact that Pegula can look back now and wonder how Serena managed it all speaks to the enormity of that achievement. Imagine carrying not just your own expectations, but the hopes of an entire nation. Before this era, when American women stepped onto a Grand Slam court, there was often one question weighing heavier than the rest. Could she be the next Serena? That question created pressure, intense, singular, almost suffocating. But Pegula describes something different today. The team, not a solo act. I think there's just been so many of us, Pegula said. After Serena, it was like, oh, we can carry this all together. And that's the heart of the shift. Rather than one towering figure casting a long shadow, there's now a constellation. There's Coco Gauff, graceful yet ferocious at the biggest moments, whose calm under pressure seems almost effortless. There's Pegula herself, consistent, tenacious, a veteran presence who reached her first Grand Slam final and has battled relentlessly on tour. There are also players like Madison Keys, Emma Navarro, Amanda Anisimova, and others, all forging paths, winning matches, and claiming big moments on the biggest stages. This isn't just a team of individuals. It's a collective force. And that collective energy changes everything. Instead of carrying the hopes of a nation on one pair of shoulders, that weight now is shared, spread out across a group, each player both teammate and rival. Shared pressure, shared freedom. Pegula explained this beautifully. When there's only one top contender, the spotlight is blinding. The expectations become personal. Every misstep feels like a failure of the entire home crowd. But when there are many contenders, the pressure becomes shared, and suddenly, it becomes manageable. It made it less pressure on ourselves, she explained, pointing out that now, even at major tournaments like the US Open, it's no longer just one American expected to win. It's like, well, there's like 10 of them. It's a stark shift from the early 2000s and 2010s when Serena was the torchbearer, when every American star was inevitably compared to her, measured against her, and often found wanting. Today, the comparisons are no longer the burden they once were. Yes, Serena was incomparable, perhaps uniquely so, but Pegula isn't the first player of her generation to step onto the court with confidence. She's one of many. And that, in itself, is a legacy. An era of opportunity and competition. What defines this era isn't just depth, it's diversity. There's diversity of style, from power baseline hitters to flexible all-court players. There's diversity of personalities, fierce competitors, calm strategists, media-savvy communicators. And there's diversity of backgrounds, each with their own story, pressures, and inspirations. This generation doesn't just compete with each other, they elevate each other. Every time one player wins, it raises the bar for the rest. Every breakthrough inspires another to believe they can do the same.